really poor performance today. Got really aggravated with myself as well. My emotion got high and definitely over traded today. I took a total of 4 trades. My max trades per day is 2. Definitely let my emotion get the best out of me. But let's jump in. I did manage to end the day green, to be pretty much break even, $95 up today. So I'll gladly take it, but definitely very, very bad performance. But let's jump into the actual trade. So again, straight from the game plan, and pretty much my main watch for today was Google, and I was actually pretty excited for like to trade Google, but yeah, and I was actually considering it to be a playbook trade. So we had a 1 day bull flag, 1 day continuation, red love strength, key level, and 1 hour bull flag. When I see over five or more higher time frame setup, I consider it to be a playbook. Gapping up on top of that, so just like icing on the cake. So yeah, game plan was pretty much a pullback. So I had 2 scenarios: a pullback to all-time highs, which was 157, for a bounce and a multiple market high and psychological 160. Scenario 2, a break and hold above pre-market high for a move to psychological 160 and potentially psychological 161 and 162. So again, main focus was on Google because it was setting up for a playbook trade. Showing relative strength and gapping higher above all-time highs. Setup is looking like a playbook trade if volume kicks in. That was the only downside with Google, was actually the volume in pre-market session, but it was looking really, really good. But let's jump into the trades. So as you can see, I was all over the place. I did manage to execute on this trade, but my performance inside the trade, how I managed the position, was shit. So let's start with the first one. So first one, again, what I want to see is a hold above pre-market high. So here I liked how we came above, we closed above pre-market high on the first minute. Then we came below, tested VWAP, bounce, and closed above 158. So my area of interest, I want to see a hold above 158. Once this candle opened and we actually were holding above 158, decided to enter a contract. So first mistake I did, I under leveraged my position. So I want to enter. I should have entered a total of 20 contracts in this position for a full position. I didn't enter not even half my full position. So enter a contract, and then the reason I didn't enter full position, it was because I was nervous. But this trade was looking pretty good straight from the game plan. It was looking really good, like a rally-based rally, and my area of interest. So it was looking pretty damn good. I did manage this position really, really good with a contract. So on the push higher, like I usually do, I exit 2. Another push higher, exit another 2, and then exit 4. Why? Because the market was making new lower days. When I see that happening, I try to play a bit more defensive, so decide to exit full position. Beautiful execution. The only downside with this first trade was actually that I didn't enter full position. After that, I was being patient, but my main interest was Google because of how we were holding. We came below. Again, area of interest was 158 because we held really nice. So once we came down and we actually held, I wanted to wait for additional confirmation. Once we closed above pre-market high again and made the 1 minute high, decided to enter full position. Well, almost full position, which was 180, 16 contract. Again, ideal best case scenario, I should have entered for 20, but it is what it is. I entered only 16. And then here was where everything went south. How I managed this position was terrible. I scale out way too quick, and what happens is when I scale out too quick and such a big position, I skew my risk reward. And I think this just comes back from what the mistake I did yesterday, which I didn't take quick profits. I brought it in today, but to the extreme, which was really, really poor. So here I exit a total of 8 contract before we even got to my first CP. My first CP is usually once we get to a higher day, or once we get to the level of interest. So I should have waited, been a little more patient. My first exit should have been here when I exit here. But by this time, I was out 10 contract out of 16. So it was just very, very poor. I exit another 2 here, 2 here, and left 2 runners. Then I broke my rules by averaging up. Why? Because in my mind, I was like, this is looking good, like a nice rally, a hold. So I added 8 more contracts. So I was a total of 10 contract here. But I actually had a tight stop loss because I really like how we were holding. If we made a woman the low, like a low, I was just gonna get out full position, and that's what I did. I exited 10 contracts, so that was pretty bad performance. So pretty much one trade here, second trade here. This averaging up, I'm considering it to be a trade because again, I'm supposed to only take 2 trades per day. And then on third, I checked my P&L and I started to trade my P&L, and decided to take one more contract because I thought I just got shaken out. So I enter here, but just very poor decision making. We actually made a 1-minute low. We actually made a 5-minute low as well. It's just like very terrible performance. I entered 4 contract, just small size, and got stopped on those last 4. So it just, after this, my emotion was really, really triggered. I wanted to continue trading. I wanted to make money, especially because I got stopped out pretty much at the worst area. This is kind of like the move I was looking for, and I got stopped out and missed out this opportunity. I'm very happy I was able to manage my emotions, but just terrible performance today. Today could have been a really, really nice day, and I actually executed, but my performance was really, really bad today. So really disappointed with my performance today, but let's jump into the live recording. So as I said, what I want to be, what I'm looking for is a hold of 158. So ideally, I want to see us hold above 158.
Order partially filled.
I enter a contract here.
Order filled.
Again, I should have entered 20 contract in total, or at least 16. But yeah. Setup ended up working out like I usually do on the push higher in my favor. I like to scale out. Very, very good performance. Really happy. Another thing I forgot to do was actually block this. I don't like to trade the contract. When I have
partially filled.
When I'm looking at this,
order filled.
I tend to trade the contract price, which contract price means nothing. The actual chart is what. So there I actually saw myself actually trading the contract price. So decided to block in. Great job. So exit 2 here on the push higher. Here I'm paying attention to pretty much the overall market as well. So not loving the fact that we are rejecting. So that made me a little bit more defensive because the last thing I want to see is this 5-minute candle close with a higher upper wick. So here on the push higher, I exit another 2 contract.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
And left 4. But what triggered me to just exit full position was how the market was making new low day. So when this make new low days,
order partially filled.
Just decided to just exit full
order
position
filled.
And just reevaluate if the opportunity presents itself again. Because the thing is that my train of thought was like, if this sells off, it's gonna close like a nasty 5-minute doji, and that's not what I want to see. So here, what I want to pay attention to is for us to hold above pre-market high. But we actually ended up breaking, but it's kind of like understandable because again, the market was just nosediving lower. And around this area is where I started getting interested again. So here, what I'm paying attention is I want to see a hold. Boom, we got above. So I got interested, but right now, what I want to be patient is I want to wait for a hold above pre-market high. So that's what I did. We actually closed above, looking pretty good, and waited for us to make a 1-minute high just for additional confirmation.
Order partially filled.
Here I enter a total of
order
16
filled.
contract.
Order partially filled.
Again, my full position should have been 20, but I just entered 16. And then here is where I start. I really underperform at scaling out and managing my position. Just my performance was really shitty. I was just scaling out because I want to just scale out. I think
partially filled.
It has to
order
be.
Filled.
It's because of my performance yesterday. But there I exit 4.
Order filled.
Then I exit another 4. Like no real reason. Like this setup is looking really, really good to work out. Yes, the 5 minutes not looking too great, but I mean, we're showing relative strength compared to the overall market. So yeah, here,
Order partially filled.
there,
Order
that right
filled.
there, that it should be my first exit. But either way, by that time I'm already down. I exit 10 contract, so I really wasn't able to kind of like milk this trade. So yeah, from there I actually was being
Order
patient.
partially filled. Order
But
filled.
look at this, like setup is working in my favor, and I'm just scaling out like for no really real reason. Yes, the fact that the market was making new low days plays a factor, but this setup was looking really good, and it was setting up for a playbook trade. So really, really poor performance there. And then from there, I scale out here at 159.20. Again, no real reason, just because it was going in my favor. That's about it.
Order filled.
I left two runners, but as I said, I average up. So I ended up averaging up. So I ended up averaging up there.
Order partially filled.
Why? Because we
Order
were holding
filled.
really nice, and I felt like this was a nice rally, base rally, especially now that the market's actually right below high a day, so it was looking pretty good. Well, QQ was high up right below high a day. But yeah,
Order filled.
I got stopped out right there. I had a tight stop loss because, again, my reasoning for entering this trade or averaging up was for a hold of this level, because we were holding really nice. And once we broke, just got out. But as you can see, my face here, I wasn't aware of how bad I managed my position. In my head, I thought was up close to 3 to 4, even like around $300 or $400. When I saw that was up only like $150, that really threw me off, and that actually triggered me to like take another trade. So again, pretty poor performance. But I ended up taking 4 contract. And yeah, this trade was just really, really bad. So I ended up taking 4 contract here. Like, why would I take 4 contract here? Like, 5 minute, we make a new 5 minute low. Like, terrible area. Breaking lower with high volume. And on top of that, I'm already breaking my
Order
rules.
filled.
This is my 4th trade. So, pretty poor performance there. And yeah, with this one, I just ended up getting stop out. So yeah, there. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it there. So I get stopped out here, right here on this candle.
Order partially filled.
So yeah, from
Order
there
filled.
I just call it there. As you see, pretty bad performance. Honestly, not happy at all. I was really aggravated with my performance today. Even creating like when I was doing my review, my regular review I do, I was very disappointed with my performance, especially because Google was my main watch. Setup was actually there. I just did a terrible performance at managing my position. Hey, welcome to trading. That's kind of like the game. You just need to learn from it and keep pushing forward. I'm happy I was able to at least end the day pretty much break even, small green, to be up $95, but definitely underperformed today. So those were the trades for April 9th.